Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing an interesting video where I do a walkthrough with a time lapse as far as putting together a 3D paper puzzle by the AURSK company. If you look on Amazon, the AURSK company makes these 3D craft paper puzzles in 3 separate styles or versions. One's going to be the Seahorse version, which is this smaller one right here. And the other one's going to be this white owl version, which is in this container right here. And then the other one I do not have, but it's going to be a macaw or parrot version. You can check out the link on Amazon to check out each of these, but they vary in price from $12.99 for the small Seahorse version to $13.99 for the white owl version. It's very affordable, and so what we'll do in this video is we'll open up the Seahorse one for this time, and I'll put it together in a time lapse. I'm not sure how best this will come out, but what we'll do is we'll just try it out, and hopefully this will be helpful for those of you at home as far as taking a look at this puzzle and whether it's worthwhile to purchase. Alright, so first off, we'll go over the packaging for both the Seahorse and the Snowy Owl puzzles, just so you can see it before we open this up. First, we'll discuss the Seahorse because that's the purpose of this video. And so this is the AURSK company. They provide these puzzles. The Seahorse one's going to be $12.99 on Amazon, which is $1 less than the other puzzles. On here, it says AURSK is that it's a 3D craft paper puzzle. It lists the Seahorse, kind of says that it's a movable tail, detachable base, and shows a picture of the actual puzzle and product in a 2D version, obviously. And then it rates the level as far as this being 3 out of 6 stars as far as the difficulty. That's really it as far as the packaging. Nothing too complex. Shows that there's parts pages, an instruction manual, and that really the composition of the packaging is really recyclable and good for the environment, but it's a very small compact package. When I got this delivered, I didn't even know what it was, but it was very small and concise. And so that's the Seahorse. And then real quick, we'll take a look at the owl. And so this is what the owl looks like. So it's a larger, probably about double the size as far as the overall size, but this is the Snowy Owl. It says that it has rotatable wings, rotatable head, which is pretty cool, and that this one is more difficult, where it's rated at 5 out of 6 stars. And so either one you can purchase. This one's going to be $13.99. The Seahorse is going to be $12.99. But what we'll do is we'll open up the Seahorse and start putting it together. Okay, so now we're going to open up the Seahorse puzzle. There's going to be this pull tab on the front that'll open up the entire folder. And what should be in here is going to be instructions as well as the puzzle pages. And so right here you have the assembly instructions. It goes step by step throughout all the steps for putting this together. Has steps on the front and the back, and each one is numbered, so you can see all the way up to let's see, 36 steps. So what we'll do is go through this one by one in the time-lapse version, so you can see this at home. But other than that, here's the pages. And so what they are front and back pages that have each of these, each of the steps printed on it, or the parts. So it's each one's labeled. So 1, 1, and 2, like 3, 4, all the way through. And so each of those you have on all of the pages. And then there's the base parts that are a little bit of a different color. So there's a total of 5 separate pages for the Seahorse puzzle, and each of the items are listed. And so what we'll do now is, my plan is I'm going to do a time-lapse video where I take these out, and then we'll start putting this puzzle together. I'll put this to music so you can watch this. Not sure how long it'll take as far as putting together, but we'll just have some fun with this, and I'll show you the end product as far as putting together the Seahorse puzzle. Alright, so I was struggling with the instructions and doing this in a time-lapse version, so I decided I'm just going to walk through step by step as far as doing this puzzle. So those of you at home, you can walk through this if you run into difficulty, so you can reference it, so it's not a nightmare if you have problems. So first off, for step 1, you're going to be needing part 1, part 2, which are these smaller cross pieces, and then part 3, which is this body piece here, and then 4 is going to be this like brown slotted thing. What you'll do as far as putting this together, you're going to take this cross piece, slide it into this body part, make sure the slots are pointed upwards like this. Okay, then what you're going to do is make sure it's all the way flush through, slide this through this tail piece, making sure that the tail's pointed posteriorly. Sorry, it's a little bit difficult. And then once you have it through, you're going to slide the tail piece down onto the slots so that it's secure in place like that. Then you'll take part 4 with the notch, slide it on here, and slide it down so that it secures, and make sure that this part doesn't fall apart. On the other side, you're going to do the exact opposite. So you're going to take this piece, you're going to slide it onto the notches here, okay? Then you're going to take the tail, make sure it lines up with the other part, okay? Slide it onto the notches, all right? And then you're going to take this piece and slide it directly on. So that's going to be step number 1, and this is what it looks like after. As far as the next step, you're going to need part 5, which is this straighter piece that's very similar to the other one. You'll need this longer cross piece, which is going to be number 6, and then you'll need a second set of number 4s, okay? This step is going to be virtually identical, but once you have it put together already, you just have to be careful that you don't damage this. But basically, you're going to slide this through the notches here. Sorry, actually slide it into the slots here, very similar to what you just did for each side, okay? Make sure it's all the way flush, and then you're going to very carefully, actually we'll do it on both sides to make it easier to install this. But basically you slide it directly into the notches on both sides. Bear with me. Oh, don't break it. There, and very similarly there. Okay, and then slide it all the way on. This one's pointing in the opposite direction, sorry. There we go. And then once you have it like that, make sure it's pushed all the way on and not caught on the slots like it currently is doing. Okay, like that. And then you're going to very carefully slide this in here between these two pieces, lift up so that it's slotted in, okay? And then you're going to take part number 4 and then slide it directly on the edges here, which will secure it. And so that's what it looks like after step number 2. All right, so step number 3, you're gonna need these large bodies, which is part number 7. So very carefully pop this out. You'll need the 1, and then you'll need the 2, the second one of these. You'll put these there, and then what you're also going to need is the slots for 8, which is these very similar pieces that we just dealt with, and then the additional ones of 4, which are right here, which are the identical pieces as well. So that's that, and virtually you're going to do the exact same thing we just did. So what you're going to do is slide these slots into the bottom of the head here, okay? Make sure it's all the way flush. Do the same thing for the other one, okay? And then you're going to very similarly connect up this other piece here, okay? And then very carefully you're going to slide it in so that the tail's facing backwards into these slots right here, the little loops on the top of this part, okay? And we got it. And then very similarly, pull it so the notch is all the way up. Put part number 4 directly on here. And then do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Okay, and so that's everything for step number 3. So actually I kind of skipped the next 2 steps. So what they recommend doing is putting this like one side together and then adding the other part directly on to the other side, which is actually step 4 as well as step 5, but we're already at this, so this is what it should look like after step 5. So next up you have step number 6. So these you're going to need part 10 and 11. This is going to be 10 right here, okay, and then the other one is 11 right here. I believe these are very similar but not identical, so don't mix them up. Part 10 is going to be this one with the kind of body on it. What you're going to do is just slide this into all the way into the bottom piece of the tail like this, and that'll secure the tail like that. And then part 11 you're going to actually put on the back side of the tail here and then slide it all the way in. Sorry, it's a little bit spread. and make sure it's flush. So that's what it looks like after step numbers. Step 7, what you'll need is this new card that looks like this. On the top right corner is going to be part number 12. You'll just pop this out very carefully. It's going to have these notches, and then basically what you're going to do is slide this into the bottom on the back side of the back. So basically just slide it directly onto here and make it flush all the way. And so that's what it looks like. And so it's on the bottom rung of these notches, and that's going to be step number 7. And then step 8 and 9, what you'll need is parts 13 and 14, which are on the bottom right here of the one that had the seahorse head. You'll pop these out. And be very careful with this too, because this has many different notches as well. And you don't want to damage it in the process. And so that's one, and then this is the other one. So that's the 2. And then you're also going to need part 15, which is this very similar piece on the separate card. And you'll pull that out. So what you're going to do here is you're going to flip this forward so that the hook is facing forwards, all right? And then you're going to slide this so that the bottom part here slots right on that piece you just added. And so you do that on the one side, and then you're going to do it very similarly where the hook is facing forwards, and place that on the front of the other side, okay? And then next up, you're going to take part 15, which is the other piece you put, and there's a slot right in the middle here that you're going to slide directly on the front side here. And so that's what it's going to look like after step 8 and 9. And then step 10, it's going to be kind of rapid fire, but basically you're going to need parts 16, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, and you're going to have to pop out all these. So that's going to be these. So 16, 17, don't mix these up, 18, 19, there's going to be a second 19, and then there's going to be a 20. Okay, and I kept them lined up like that, but basically you're going to start from the bottom backside rung here. You're going to put 16 in, which is this one here. Make sure it lines up with everything and is secure. All right, so that's what it looks like. Then you're going to do the same for 17. So that's what it looks like. So you have all the slots in for here. Just make sure it's aligned. It's pretty difficult as you go, but that's everything. And that's what it looks like after step. Now step 11 is going to be very similar. What you'll do is you're going to take parts 21, 22, 23, which are the last kind of ones on this one. Don't mix them up, obviously, 22 and 23. And there's going to be virtually 21, 22, 23 go like that. So very similarly, you're just going to slot this in along the front top there. Next one is 22. And the last one is going to be 23. And so that's what it looks like after step number 11. And then step 12, you're going to take part 24, which is the last part on this card. You're going to take that, and then basically there's one slot in the middle rung here. You're just going to slide that so that the tail's facing down and get that all the way secured. And then next, step number 13, you're going to take part 25, which is on the bottom of this other card. There's 2 of these. And what you'll do is you'll turn this so that this round portion is facing forwards, and then you'll slide this. There's going to be 2 slots. You'll slide this directly on kind of the top here, and then you'll slot it down like this. And then you'll do the exact same thing for the other side. Make sure the round part is facing forwards. So that's what it looks like after step number 13. Step 14, what you'll need are the eyes, which are going to be part number 26, which are identical. Okay, you're going to take these, you're going to pop these on the front here. So it slides directly on that round part that you saw there, and then do the same exact thing on the other side here. The notch, that's what it looks like. And then you'll need parts number 27, which is the left one, and 28, which is this other one. 27 is going to go on the left side of the model or puzzle. It's going to go on this back part here. Or actually, let me see. This should be, yeah, this part here should slide directly onto this part. Bear with me. Seeing if it slides all the way down on the notch. It might not. So I put it like that. Let me see if I can do it on the other side a little bit better. So I have it like this. It might slide down a little bit further, but I don't want to slam it down. But that's what I have, so that's what it looks like there as far as like ears on it. So that's everything as far as the making or putting together the Seahorse portion of this. So that's really cool, the fact that this is a 3D model that you kind of put together. It's like really cool looking. So that's the first part. We'll put this aside. All those parts are done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start putting together the base. So you'll need these other pieces. Okay. So for step number 15, you're going to need part 29, which is this larger piece that kind of curves upwards. Just be careful with popping this out because it is a little bit bigger. You don't want to bend it in the process. But that's part number 29. You'll need 30 or 31, which is going to be this kind of brain looking kind of thing here, and then you're going to be needing 31, I believe 30, which is on this other card, or actually 30, which is this piece right here. Okay, as far as putting this together, what you're going to do is take part 30, okay? You're going to slide it directly on so that, directly onto the middle part of part 29, so it looks like this. And then part 31, which is this kind of coral looking thing, is going to go on the back side here. And so now you've got a stable base that you can build off of. All right, then step 16, you're going to need parts 32, which are these middle parts on the other card. Okay, and then you'll need parts 33, which are the parts right next to it that are a little bit bigger. So that's 33. This is the other 33. Okay, and then what you're going to do is there's going to be slots on the side here. What you'll do is you're going to put part 32, which is a smaller one, so that the coral's facing the back onto the bottom here. So it'll slide directly into these slots. And you can get it all the way almost flush with this, I believe. Or not. And then you'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, and then very similarly for part 33, take the coral part here, slide it along the side here, and get it all the way flush. Okay, and then exact same thing for the other side. Oop, I mixed these up. So this is the smaller part, so this has to go up on the top here. And they'll actually line up. That's why I wasn't lining up, because I had the wrong size. So that's what it looks like. So you've got like a two-tiered part, and so that's kind of what it looks like. Next, there's going to be part 34, which is identical. It's going to be on the two separate cards. You'll just pull these all out. Okay, and then you're going to take these and you're going to slide it along the coral edge here so the curved part is sticking upwards. So just, there's going to be 4 slots for this. Oop. Like slid out of the way. Okay, and so that's what it looks like after that step, where you have all these wrapped around on the back side of it. And then lastly, for step 18, you're gonna need the remaining parts, which are 35, which is this kind of like corally piece like that, which is on both of the cards, all right? And then you'll need 36, which is this larger kind of other piece that's more of a reddish color, which is identical on the other side. And then what you'll do is there should be slots. So what you're gonna do here is you are going to put 36 on the front side of the base. So here, and so 36 goes on the front, and you'll slot that in. And then 35 is gonna go on the back. So that's everything for the base, and so that's complete. Okay, and that's everything as far as the steps. So this is what the base looks like after you're done completely putting it together, all right? And then this is what the Seahorse looks like close up. So the tail maneuvers all around, it can maneuver, you can spin it around, that sort of thing. Really cool, unique kind of puzzle. As far as putting it on the base, it's a little bit difficult, but basically the coral portion, or this blue part, is going to be the front. And so what you're going to do is just slide the tail directly into here, and it kind of slots in. And then basically you can stand it upright with that in mind. So that's what it looks like. And so that's really cool. You can spin it around. It does kind of, because of the maneuverability, it will fall if you kind of do that. But I mean, this is a really cool puzzle for like $12.99. I mean, this is remarkably like just cool to look at. I mean, I'm really impressed with this. Like, to be honest, as I was doing this, I was having a lot of fun even while filming. But I have 2 nephews. One of them is 3 years old. I would love to do this with him. I'll probably purchase one of these and do this with him. But I'll say in general, it is pretty difficult, like step by step. As you can tell, you can struggle with the pieces. It's something I would definitely recommend doing hand in hand with an adult and a child at the same time, if you're going to do it that way, because they might struggle. There's some subtle nuances to the instructions, the pieces, everything as far as like putting it together, and it could break and that'd be frustrating. But it's really cool, the puzzle, the fact that it can come apart, and to be honest, I didn't know what to expect with this, but this is just a cool, unique puzzle. So that's the AURSK 3D Kraft Puzzle, paper puzzle in the Seahorse version. This is the 3 out of 6 difficulty, so it was pretty difficult even for 3 stars. You can get it on Amazon for $12.99. And then what I'm gonna do is I will do a follow-up video doing the snowy owl in a separate video, step by step as well. This I'm super excited about now after doing the Seahorse, because the Seahorse came out so cool. But definitely check it out. Click the link below. I'd highly recommend this puzzle for anybody. That was just a cool, fun experience. So thanks for watching. If you have questions, comments about the steps or anything, post them below. But this is the AURSK 3D Seahorse puzzle. So thanks for watching and have a great day.